All right, good morning, guys. Good morning, Reading Tiger. Good morning, Keith. Good morning, Larry. So I do have the risk disclosure up, guys, so you can kind of peruse that as we wait for folks to join us. Okay, just I was a few minutes late here, just making some final edits here to the spreadsheet that I'm tracking, where I'm tracking my levels. Hopefully, everybody knows how to get to those levels. Again, guys, the only one thing I probably should have mentioned earlier is one thing that does have the potential of changing is the average session range, because the average session range is based on the New York Open. So there is a possibility that the average session range could change slightly. So if you are reviewing these, you can always do a search for top step daily levels, and that will give you the latest and greatest levels that I have for average session range. Okay. All right. So I do have the risk disclosure up, as I mentioned. Again, just a reminder, guys, that the market trader, myself, the information that I'm providing here is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided by the company or contained herein is intended as investment advice and offered to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security or fund. Okay, we all understand that future trading does contain a fair amount of risk, and an investor could potentially lose all or more of their investment capital, and that we should be only using risk capital when we engage in the markets. Money that we can otherwise afford to lose without compromising our financial security or lifestyle. Okay. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation to buy, sell futures, options, or forex, and then past performance is not indicative of future results. Okay. Now that we got the risk disclosure out of the way, I don't believe they have been updated, Solo. I think they wait for the top of the hour here. All right, for another 22 minutes. I think that's when they finalize. I think they're in the process of updating those, Solo. But I expect that they are committed to updating those, I think, by um, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. All right. All right. So now that we got this risk disclosure out of the way, guys, we're going to go ahead and take a look at no problem, Solo. We're going to take a look at the news. Okay. Always important to view the news before we engage in the markets. We want to understand what in the way of news could impact some sort of adverse way. We have, interest rates decisions, I believe sometime this week, that in and of itself, could cause the markets leading up to it to be a little bit more sluggish, okay, than we are normally accustomed to, okay, especially for the equities and I guess gold to some degree. All right. So so what do we have? What do we have? Well, we have a few items coming in here. Okay. So at 9 a.m. we have the Schiller report coming in. We have at 10 a.m. I should say, 10 a.m. Eastern. We have the JOLTS job openings. We have at 10 a.m. again consumer confidence. We have earnings. Okay, Microsoft earnings coming in at. Well, this is technically going to not impact us. Okay, this is coming in after the close of the market. Okay, so yeah, fair amount of news. Again, some of the similar times that we normally should already have made a note of in our plans. 10 a.m. Eastern time is again these option expiration time frames. So that's always something that we need to be aware of, and um, in my humble opinion, remain flat for, because it could cause markets to reverse in whatever direction that they are moving in prior to that report. Okay. All right. Let's yeah, so there's that interest rate decision I was telling you about, but that's going to be tomorrow. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and start looking at the markets here, guys. Okay. We always start with um the let's see if I can actually find well, let's go ahead and go with this. No, I'm going to go ahead with the other one. Hold on. Do. Boom. Okay. Okay. So yeah, so I found the desktop version of TradingView, and like I said, one of the things that I'm having with the browser version, sometimes these texts are getting a little bit on the smallish side for me, so I needed a little bit wider screen, and it seems a little bit cleaner. So let's go ahead and open up the gold market here. Okay, so we'll take a close look at the gold market and move this to the top here. Make sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. So I need to keep an eye on that. All right. So let's go ahead and open up the gold market here. Okay. Like I said, it's a little bit easier for me to work with. I like the controls here a bit better on the desktop version of TradingView. So as we normally do, we always start with a daily view. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and remove some of these drawings here and shut down some of these views, these indicators, I should say, and basically ask myself the question again. We always ask ourselves the question, I should say, in what direction is the market looking to move? Okay, well, again, we've been in this kind of consolidation range here for some time. Hopefully, you guys can see my mouse. Is that right? You guys can see my mouse, correct? Right? We are in this kind of consolidation range, right? In the gold on the daily. Okay, so right? So we have, these swings, right? Overlapping swings, okay? And then, like I said, if we look at the most recent swing, right? Well, what is it trying to accomplish? Well, it's trying to make lower highs and lower lows, okay? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, okay? Now, we've been talking about this for some time now. We have come into to an area where we could potentially see to be supportive here around this 2400 level. Okay, so 2400 level is the expectation is that it's going to be supportive. We've received some inside candles, right? Inside, none of these candles have closed above this current candle. All right. So the expectation is that the bears are still relatively in control of this market here. Okay, on the daily chart. All right. Moving on to the 4-hour chart. Okay, similar kind of thing. Again, we look at this and we look and say, okay, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. So again, we're still in this kind of bearish structure to the downside in on the 4-hour chart. Okay, let's go ahead and move into the 30-minute chart. Okay, oops, I think I just okay. We'll go 30 minutes. Okay. Looking at the 30-minute chart, we're going to start opening some of the things that we normally cover here. Okay. All right. So here we are. This is the 233-day EMA. You can see here that we are technically remain below that level. Okay. That's kind of for me, kind of a litmus test on the general direction that they want to take the market. The secondary number that I look at is the daily VWAP. Well, the daily VWAP is currently being challenged, and I guess if we really zoom in on this, we are technically below that as well. But that has created a little bit of indecision in this market, right? Because we've had a swing high, we have had a move higher, and generally we look for VWAP to offer us an area for potential support here. Now, right now, at least cause the market to stall here a bit. Now, whether it stalls enough to cause price to reverse away from it, that's yet to be determined. Okay. It could easily create a situation where we come back down and revisit settlement price. Okay. In this market here. Okay. So let's go ahead and call out our levels here. Okay, I believe I got them. This is the correct market. So let's go ahead and paste these in. Okay, from my spreadsheet. All right, so right about here. Okay, so these are our numbers. Okay, maybe a little bit on the big side now, but let's see. Okay, all right. So those are our numbers. Okay, those are the numbers that we're going to be tracking here. We're going to spot check them at this point. So first thing that I'm going to be looking at is the fixed range volume profile. Okay. And then I'm going to locate again, as usual, the 830 candle here, drag that across to the 130 candle. Okay. So here we are. We're going to, again, shrink this a little bit so that we can get the full context of the market here. And then we're just going to spot check some of these numbers. We're not going to go through each and every one of them. We're going to spot check that I've actually captured them correctly. Okay. So this first one here is the value area high. Okay. So we come in at 24, 30, 10. Well, it's off by a tick, which that's okay for what we're so 24, 30, 10 is value area high. We got value area low here coming in at value area low coming in at 24, 15, 20. Okay, I got 40, but that's again close enough for what we needed for. Okay, and then we have point of control here coming in at, I'm going to go ahead and draw that in as red. Okay, we got point of control at 24, 23, 50. Okay, well that's fine. We're in that ballpark. All right, and then we have settlement. Okay, coming in a bit higher at 24, 25, 24, 25, 70. Okay, so these numbers look in order. Okay. So we can rest assured. I think the only number that I want to double confirm is the average session range. That could adjust on us. So average session range we have, and sure enough it did. So we have 24, 18, 50, 24, 18, 50. Okay. 24, 18, 50 for our average session range low. Okay. And then average session range high is 2445, 2445.1. Okay, so just off by 5. Okay, 2445.1 is average session range high. So I'm going to go ahead and modify that. 2445. And we're going to say this is 2418. Okay. 50. Okay. Bear with me, guys, as I update the spreadsheet with these new numbers. Okay. So then put that here. And then we're going to put this up here. Okay. And we're going to remove this. And then we're going to drag this all the way up. Okay. And All right. All right. So now that we have our levels here, hey Jerry, let's take a look and see, what kind of hypos we can come up with here. Okay. So first things first is I'm going to go ahead and turn on initial balance. Okay. So their initial balance range being developed here. Kind of move this off here somewhere where it's not in the middle so much. Okay, so we are above value. Okay, so that indicates that there are some, potential bullish scenarios that we can entertain in this market. Again, one of the levels that I'm going to be looking at here is value area high. Okay, this level right here. This could offer us a reversal to the upside. Okay, value area high. Um, as I mentioned before, we could get a little bit of a value. I don't know if I mentioned this, but we could drop to settlement price and reverse away from settlement price. Okay. We could close inside value and rotate, down to this, I guess not yesterday's, maybe yesterday's ASR level, ASR low, and maybe have the potential of rotating all the way through value. Okay, so that's another scenario that we can have in the market. So we have a couple of bullish scenarios, all above. I say all above one above VWAP. Okay, another one reversing away from value area high. Okay, or we can potentially have a value area acceptance, right? Where we close inside, maybe get down to settlement price, maybe as low as point of control before we potentially reverse, or we move all the way down to this average session low. Okay, so those are some of the scenarios that we're looking at here in the gold market. All right, so right now we're just kind of, like I said, the overall market is a bit bearish, right? So from a higher time frame, so maybe we want to be patient and wait for opportunities that provide us bearish opportunities, right? If we do get a close below inside initial balance, maybe that's enough evidence for us to come down to these levels here. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at on the gold market. This is not comma here. It's 18. Okay. Oops. All right. Okay. So looking to see if there's any questions on this. I'm not seeing it. Okay. So we'll go ahead and move on to the crude oil market. Okay. So crude oil. Okay. We'll go ahead and open up the crude oil market. Open up this here. And again, we're going to go ahead and turn off some of these levels. Okay. These indicators, and our focus is going to be on the daily chart to start. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and open up the daily. Okay. So that is okay. So you can see here, let's go ahead and remove some of these drawings. You can see here, of late, right? You can see that we are, creating some structure here to the downside. Okay, lower lows and lower highs. Okay, we are coming into some daily levels here. So we've broken some structure here to the downside. Some more structure is being broken to the downside. Where can this market stop? Well, we're looking at 73, 72. Okay, is kind of the level that I'm looking at. All right, from a daily perspective. Okay, that seems that we seem to be destined to come back and test these levels below. Okay, I'm not seeing anything, even including maybe our last stand here is around 75. Okay, 75 might cause price to stall here a bit. But if we do manage to get below 75, I don't see any reason why we don't get down to 73. Okay, in this market. All right. 4-hour chart. So for our chart, basically we're getting the same kind of indication here, right? Again, we have structure that is telling us that we, lower highs and lower lows. Okay. you can see from this line here that it is a line that's sloping lower, right? We don't need to overthink it. We just need to, just look at what the general direction of the market is. The general direction of the market on the 4-hour chart is bearish. All right. 30-minute chart. Oops, not the 20-minute chart, but the 30-minute chart. Okay. Now, again, we're going to go ahead and capture our levels here. Going to stretch this out here again. We have so one of the EMAs I've added to this list of EMAs is this 169. Okay, so we have 233 and 169. You can see that in both cases we are below. All right, so again, indication that we still are, we still have a fair amount of selling pressure in this market. Okay. So let's go ahead and, bring out our levels here. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and bring out our levels, and we're going to go ahead and cut and paste them here. Okay. All right. There are our levels, and we're just going to go ahead and spot check these. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and look at the fixed range volume profile. We're going to locate the 6 a.m. bar for Monday and drag that across to the 4:30, I should say 9 a.m. Sorry, guys, I keep messing up on these times. Okay, so we have, this is a 20-minute chart. I don't know why. It should be a 30-minute chart. Okay. All right, so we're going to drag this over another right about there. Okay. So there's our, make sure I started it out at the right place. No, it should be starting at yes, 6 a.m. Okay. All right. So let's take a look and see. We're just going to spot check some of these numbers that I've captured here on the right. We have 76.32 as our value area high. Well, yeah. So 76.29 is actually more accurate, I think. Yeah, so 76.31, I think, again, is relatively close here. Okay. Should be in blue. All right. Okay. And then our value area low is coming in at 75.35. I got 75.34. Again, it really depends on how you draw this line here. Okay. So again, I'm not too worried about being a tick off here. So we are getting priced, moving below value. Okay. That's again, another indication here. Looks like price, the market is about to open here in about a minute, and price has moved away from value. Okay. So it's a little bit out of balance, moving to the downside. Okay. Point of control here, just again, spot checking this number, point of control, 75.88. Okay. In line there. Settlement price, 75.81. So we're all good there. So the only really number that I'm always a little bit want to make sure that we have that is correctly is, okay, so we have 76.23, okay, is my average session range, not low. Okay, this should be, yeah, high. This should be high, sorry. Okay, so average session range high is 76.23. Okay, so let's go ahead and make sure I capture that number here and update it on the spreadsheet. So average session range high is 76.23. So we're going to go ahead and move this down. Okay, and we're going to say this here is 76.23. Yeah, 76.23 is even further down. Okay, so this is right here. Yeah, bear with me, guys, as I try to update these numbers on the spreadsheet. Okay, because we are reaching that hour where they need to get these updates in. So let's see. This is right here. This is going to go away. Okay. And then our average session range low is 74.58. Okay. So I'm going to go this and this. And we're going to go ahead and 74.68 is our average session range low. Oops. Average session range low here. Okay, so average session range low. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add that there. All right. Okay, let's make sure I don't have any duplicates. So we can see average session range high. We need to get rid of. Okay. Let's take a look at the ADR level here since we're at it. So we're going to go ahead and do this, and that brings us up to 76.89. So we have 76.89 as 76.89. 76.89 as our average daily range high. Okay. Okay. Again, just updating some numbers here, guys, and then we'll talk through hypos. Okay, just updating the spreadsheet, make sure I got these numbers correctly. Okay, average daily range low. We don't need two of those. Okay, almost done here, guys. All right. Okay, so let's talk through some hypos now that we got the levels. All right. So again, we are about to we're already in the open here, so we're going to go ahead and open up our initial balance. Okay, so we are below value. Okay, indicating that the bears are very much in control of this market. Okay, we've come down to an ADR zone almost immediately. Okay. And now we have really ASR here to provide us a potential area where price could potentially reverse from. Okay. We are a bit extended, okay, to the downside. All right. This area right here, 74.58, could offer us an area for reversal in price. Okay. All right, so that's one scenario. The other scenario, I think, if we're looking to be more bearish, okay, then I would say that we need to maybe come back to value area low. All right, value area low would be a good reference level. Maybe if assuming we get a nice initial balance, kind of momentum move to the downside, 74.78, assuming that this ends up being our initial balance low, that would also offer us a nice reference level for a short. Okay. So overall, again, guys, it seems that, crude oil is a bit of in a bearish, kind of structure here. The other thing I'm going to be capturing here, since this seems to be so, I guess, one-sided. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and open up an anchor VWAP here on the open. All right. And then based on the anchor VWAP, that'll also help me decide on direction. Okay. But I am looking and seeing that this level, this ASR level, ASR low could provide a potential bounce in this market. Okay. It may not be a bounce to the moon. Okay. But it could bounce back up to, say, daily VWAP, maybe up to value area low, something along those lines. Okay. So that's something to be aware of. All right. Let's see. We got Source. Good morning. We got Irwin. Top line and the fourth line say ASR high. Top line and the fourth line say ASR high. Okay. Yeah. So let me actually copy and paste what I finally captured here. So on the spreadsheet, doing two updates at the same time here, guys. So let me go ahead and give you what I eventually submitted. Okay. So this is kind of what we're looking at here. Okay. In the crude oil. All right. So Erwin, hopefully that addresses your point there. Okay. All right. Looks like we are getting a little bit of reaction off of ADR levels. Okay. So see how it's responding away from it. So this could offer a potential reversal in price here. Okay. Opportunity. All right. I'm going to be patient and wait to see if we get a 3-bar reversal pattern. I don't generally trade on 2. I like to see 3. Okay. Especially against the level that I care about. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead. Unless there's any other questions on the crude oil market, we've already talked about our levels. We talked about potential opportunities in this market, both on the bearish and the bullish side. Like I said, right now it looks like we are responding a bit away off of ADR low. Okay, we're not going just to react on the developing candles. We need to wait to see if these candles actually close the way that they appear, and then before we decide to act here. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the equities. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and open this up here. We're going to remove all the drawings. Okay. We're going to start by removing some of these indicators. Got a lot of lines here. So let's see. We got boom, boom, boom. Okay. All right. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and open up the daily chart and ask myself the question here. What is the general direction of the market? Well, the general direction of the market has been to the downside. Now, while we've had, the last 3 days have been kind of days where the market has rallied a little bit. We still remain in, bearish structure here, right? Nothing really has changed, right? We still remain in this structure to the downside. We'll only start to consider maybe that more bullish kind of view of the market once we start breaking some structure to the upside. Okay. First order of business is to get above this channel. Second order of business is to get above 20,000. Okay. If it doesn't accomplish those two things, means that we are in some bearish structure to the downside. Okay. All right. 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart. Okay. Probably going to tell us the same kind of thing. We just get a little bit more visibility on inside of these candles here. Okay. Again, we seem to be developing a little bit of a demand area here on the 4-hour. Okay. 19,000. I'm kind of willing to draw something here from a demand zone. Okay. So this 19,082 seems to be an area that is creating a little bit of demand. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and update that. 19,080. Oops. 19,082. 25. That's a 4-hour demand. Okay. Gonna go ahead and modify that to bold. Okay, let people know it's been updated. Okay. All right. So that's kind of what we're seeing on the 4 hour. Let's move on to the 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart. Here we are. Okay, we're up. We are above settlement price. So go ahead and remove this channel here. I don't like the little gray kind of tone. So we are above the daily weave up. We are above settlement price, and we are about to challenge this 169 EMA, right? You can see here how nicely price has reacted away from it, right? We got up to the 169 EMA, and what did we do? We failed away from it. We came back up to it. We failed away from it. Okay. Are we going to fail again? Is this going to be the third time where we fail below? We'll see, right? We'll see if we get the price action that we expect here. All right. So this level here at this EMA level at 19,292.75, this might be an area for a continuation move to the downside in this market. Okay. Right. We could easily react away from it because we have evidence of that. Right. We see that it did that twice already. Is there any reason for us not to expect the same? No. But I'm going to wait for some price action, okay, to indicate that. I'm going to wait for my channel break to the downside before I commit to that, right? I'm not just going to take that location without some price action confirmation, okay? All right, let's go ahead and pull up our levels here. So let's look at this. Okay, NQ has daily consolidation with his section. Okay. All right. So let's call our levels out here. So there they are. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and expand this out. Okay. So hopefully you guys aren't complaining on the size of the text windows. These are awfully large, right? So there's no doubt about what levels we have, correct? All right, so let's go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile, and then we're going to double check our numbers here. So we're going to go ahead and locate the 930 bar from Monday, drag that across to the 1330 bar, and we're going to go ahead and double confirm some of these numbers. Okay, so we have value area high coming in at 1932.25. That's fine. We have value area low coming in at 19,222. Okay, it's a little bit higher. I'm just doing a rough view of this, but they're coming in line. They're within our tolerance levels. So the number that I'm going to particularly pay attention to is my ASR, because that always comes in a little bit different. So we have 19,127.50 as our ASR low. Okay, well, that's been captured. We have ASR high coming in at 19,443. So that is slightly different. So we'll just update that, okay, to 443. All right, at that average session range high. And then we're going to turn on ADR levels. We got ADR level. We got 19,406. No need to change there. And we have 19,000 looks like, let's see, yeah, 028. Okay, on the low side. All right. Okay. All right. So yeah. So everything seems to be order on the levels. So what to make of this market? Well, it looks like price wants to open inside value. Okay. We've gotten this rally into value. Chances are we get to the other side of value. Okay. Before up to maybe 19,331 before we make any sort of move here. Now, so yeah, the fact that we're going to open up inside balance means that we could stay in range, right? The fact that we have interest rates coming in tomorrow could lead to a very sluggish equity market today, right? Nobody wants to commit in any sort of direction without understanding what the Fed is going to do with interest rates. So today could be has the potential of being kind of a dull day in the NASDAQ, right? As they position themselves and maybe try to figure out, exactly, what kind of interest rate are they going to raise interest rates? Are they going to keep them in line? Are they going to lower them? Everybody says that they want to lower them, right? So, and what effect is that going to have on the market, right? So right now, the fact that we're inside value is indicating that there is an interest to kind of, basically is going to remain the same, right? Nothing is changing here in any one direction, right? It's just we're going to stay in range until that news event happens, okay? So what am I going to do with the NASDAQ market? Well, there could be a consideration that maybe I look at other markets today, right? Because we are inside balance. If I do want to trade it, then I would recommend that you be patient. One, two, wait for the initial balance range to develop, okay, and decide and let the market participants tell you what direction they want to take the market. Right now, they're telling us is they're perfectly happy with the range that we're in right now. That's exactly what's being, the fact that we're inside value, that's exactly what they're telling us. Okay. All right. So for me, I'm going to wait for this initial balance range to establish and before I decide to do anything in this market. Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and I'm not seeing any questions. So we'll go ahead and move on to the ES. Okay. So we'll look at the ES market here. And again, we'll turn off all these levels that we have drawn here. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and, start with our review of the daily. Now, I don't expect this to be, much different than the review that we've done on the NASDAQ here. Okay. These are old levels, so they'll ignore these for a minute. Okay. So looking at what these, let me go ahead and remove these drawings here. Okay. So looking at this, okay, well, what is the general direction of the market? Well, again, we're starting to get, I would say this candle here has gotten my attention. Okay. Because if I just do these, then this candle here is peaking above. You're welcome, Frizu. So this candle here is peaking above, right? We had some structure here to the downside. Now we have a developing candle that's breaking above this. Now, I don't know whether this candle, this is daily now, right? I don't know. No, this is, daily. Yeah. Daily, right? So we don't know exactly whether this candle is going to continue to close at this point, right? Still a developing candle, but nonetheless, we are seeing maybe some indication that we could see a rally potentially in this market, right? Maybe they're anticipating, maybe somebody's gotten wind of the news that's going to be coming in tomorrow. Okay, so market bearish, okay, but we're starting to see maybe a glimpse that maybe the market could potentially reverse. So I'm going to be quite keen to see how this candle closes at the end of the day today. All right. 45. Sorry. 4-hour chart. Okay. So we had a break. We had a retest of this channel that I drew on the daily, and it responded away from it. Right. We have price above settlement, has not quite broken above this 233-day EMA. But if it does, then I don't see any reason why this market cannot come back and reach 5612. Okay, from a 4-hour perspective. Okay, so this area here around this EMA at 55.3225 is an important level for me. If we are able to close above with some momentum, then again, we have the opportunity for price to come back to the highs of this swing, right? 5612. I don't see anything in its path, assuming that it can get above. Now, if it cannot get above, well, it's going to follow the natural structure, right? And continue its way down. Okay. So this is an interesting level for me to see. Okay. As you can see, we've broken below and we've yet to broken above this 233-day EMA. All right. So let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. All right. 30-minute chart. Here we are. Okay. So 30-minute chart. We have, let's go ahead and copy and paste my levels here so that people have them. Okay. We'll move these to the right. Okay. So here are my levels. Okay. I'm going to move this over here to left here a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to spot check them. We're going to start with the value area. Okay. And we're going to locate the 930 bar, drag that to the 430 bar. Okay. There we are. Okay. We're going to again spot check our value area highs and value area lows. So we'll go value area high, 55.17. That is in line. We're going to go value area low is a little bit up here. Value area low is 5,500. I got 5,501 based on this line. Relatively in that, I'm off by a quarter tick. Okay. I'm not worried about that. Okay. That number that I always want to double check on is the ASR. Okay. So we have 55.43. Okay. So we have 55.43, slightly higher. Okay. Slightly higher number now. 54.85.50. Okay. Is our average session range low. Okay. We'll go ahead and open up ADR levels. Okay, ADR levels are relatively close here. So this is in line. And then we have the low here is 54.67. So these numbers seem to be accurate. Our point of control is higher than our settlement. So yeah, I think we're good on these numbers. Okay. So now what's different about this than NASDAQ? Well, looks like we are testing the highs here. Okay. We've had 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests, 4 tests, 5 tests. Okay. All kind of, button its head up against this, both this EMA level as well as this value area high. Again, if price closes above the value area high and above EMA, it stands to reason for us to rally up to average daily range high. If I look at these set of candles, well, that's what the market is trying to accomplish here of late, right? It's trying to head higher. Okay. On this 30-minute chart. Okay. It's trying to head higher on this 30-minute chart. It may or may not be 100% aligned with a higher time frame, but that's what we're seeing on the 30-minute chart. Okay. So I'm going to be interested to see if the market can get above, okay, this area here, right? And then that opens up an opportunity for price to head to the ASR high. If it's not, then we stand the reason for us to kind of rotate back, and maybe 54.85 settlement price are kind of a couple of areas that could serve as targets for reversal in price. But it does appear to me, okay, that the market wants to rally. The structure that I'm seeing here is to the upside now. Okay. So I'm not really super interested in buying right here. I'd like to see some evidence. Okay. Let the market participants push it. Okay. And then, value area high could be an area where I, kind of a little pullback back to value area high, rejection, and then off we go. All right. So that's kind of what I'm seeing on the ES here. Okay. So let's see. So I'm going to leave. We have about a few participants here. So I'm gonna let the remaining markets be something more optional. Okay. Rather than just go through the standard review. We are about 5 minutes away from the close of this, current session. Okay. Current session, my session. If there is any special requests that they'd like to see, if they want to see RBOB, or they want to see Platinum, or whether they want to see the YM, I'm willing to take some requests at this point. So if there's a market that you want me to take a look at, I'm happy to do so, but we'll take it on a request basis. Anyone? Yeah. So if there's no requests, then we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and close off the session, guys. Okay. So yeah. So we will have our normal group coaching later this afternoon. I will be available in the coaching room as normal. Supporting you guys through some levels and opportunities that present themselves in the market. Otherwise, again, don't be afraid to hit the subscribe. Don't be afraid to hit the like button. Don't be afraid to comment on the recording that I make available up on YouTube. All right. Otherwise, we close every session with trade safe, trade well, trade like a pro, be a market trader. All right, guys. Have a good day of trading.